everyone, welcome to Make It Dairy Free. I'm Larisha and I am super excited today to bring you more family-friendly recipes. Today I am going to be sharing one-pot pasta meals. We all have busy lives and no one really feels like cleaning up a bajillion dishes, and that is absolutely why I love one-pot meals. Bonus number one is that these are super meal prep friendly, and then bonus number two is we are sneaking in or adding in something green to both of these, and they're still kid friendly, at least in our home, so let's jump in. First up, we have our creamy corn and zucchini pasta. This recipe is really simple, but it still feels so indulgent. It is creamy and it is delicious. It is great served warm, but you can also serve this one cold like a pasta salad. Okay, so for your ingredients, you're going to need spaghetti, fresh zucchini, corn, full-fat canned coconut milk, a yellow onion, white or sweet will also work, garlic, vegan butter, vegetable stock, vegan Parmesan, salt, and pepper. We're using whole wheat pasta here just because that is a personal preference, but you can use regular or even gluten-free for our gluten-free friends. We prefer a longer noodle like a spaghetti, but I have made this with rotini and penne and even elbows, and they all work. To start your recipe, you're going to want to bring a large pot of water to a boil and then cook your noodles according to the box instructions. While that's boiling, we're going to make our sauce. You'll benefit from having all of your vegetables chopped before starting, including grating your zucchini. According to my best friend, I am crazy for grating the zucchini by hand and not using my food processor, but I personally just find it easier just to grate it really quickly instead of having to pull my whole food processor out and again wash all of those dishes. But whatever works for you, you do you. And also, she's likely going to punch me when she sees this part of the video. Into a skillet, we're going to start with our vegan butter. Once it's fully melted, you can go in with your onions, and you'll want to let these cook for 3 to 4 minutes until they are softened. I do like to allow them to get a little caramelization on them if I have the time. Then you're going to add in your garlic, stir, and let that cook for a minute, and then all your zucchini. Take your time and stir this together well, and then realize that you aren't going to have enough space in your pot, and you're just going to have to transfer it. That's just me. Okay, so clearly mistakes were made. I have made this recipe probably 100 times. I have no idea why I didn't pick out my larger skillet to start with. So yeah, just make sure you grab one with either high walls, or you can do this in like a stock pot or a Dutch oven and just start with that. Now that you have the right size pan, just make sure that all of your ingredients are mixed together well, and then add in your salt and pepper. The salt will help draw out the moisture of your zucchini. Then add your corn kernels. If it's summertime, you absolutely must use fresh corn and cut it off the cob. Also, adding in our coconut milk, vegetable stock, and grating our Parmesan into the sauce and stirring this together as well. You're gonna let this reduce and thicken for a few minutes. I'll be honest, this sauce is so good. I just want to take bread at this stage and soak it all up. Instead, we're going to add in our cooked pasta and stir this together. You really want to make sure that the sauce coats as much of the noodles as possible. At this point, once you have everything together, you can determine if you want your sauce to be a little more saucy or not. You have two options: either add more coconut milk, or you can add some of your reserved pasta water. Or you can do a little bit of both. If you add more, make sure you stir this together, then add some fresh basil on top if desired, and then that's it. This is super easy, super creamy, and this pasta is ready to go. I just want to share 2 quick notes before we end this recipe. The first one is that you can use other non-dairy milks if you don't want to use coconut. I prefer choosing something that's creamier, like maybe a soy milk or a creamy oat milk. They do take longer to evaporate, so you just want to keep that in mind. And also regarding the milks, make sure you don't buy one of the vanilla flavored milks, because no one's gonna like the taste of that inside of this pasta. And then the second thing that I want to call out is that you can use frozen zucchini if that's what you have on hand for this recipe, but you want to omit the vegetable stock when you do that. The liquid from the frozen zucchini can make it really liquidy when you're trying to cook it down, and so it's best to just hold off and see if you need to add that vegetable stock in later on, or just maybe you don't need it at all. All right, let's give this a try. Make sure we get all of that zucchini and corn in there. This is so good. I will never get over like how much this reminds me of summer, especially in like winter time right now where it's like gloomy and cloudy outside. This bowl is a perfect pick-me-up to make you have like those summer vibes and know that summer is coming just around the corner. All right, next up is our skillet lasagna. Now listen, I'm being 100% honest when I say that I am lazy. However, Andrew's favorite meal is lasagna, and I loathe trying to remember which layers and which assembly all of it goes together in the process and all of that. And it's gotten to the point that actually Andrew prefers this method over traditional, so it's a win-win and it's easier for everybody. Let's show you how to make it. Let's start by showing you the ingredients that I use in this dish. Olive oil, garlic, sofrito, vegan Worcestershire sauce. Our spices are seasoning salt, oregano, garlic and onion powder, dried parsley, and black pepper. Some fire roasted diced tomatoes, lasagna noodles, red sauce, vegan cheese, ricotta, spinach, some more vegan cheese, and some vegan beef crumbles. You could also use crumbled tofu or textured vegetable protein instead. Into a large skillet, starting right this time, I'm adding in my garlic and carefully cooking this just until fragrant so it doesn't burn. Add the sofrita and then the dried spices and stir and cook for 1 more minute. So you might be wondering why we are adding the spices at this point. This process is called blooming your spices, and essentially when you mix dried spices with a little bit of oil, it releases the full flavor of your dried spices. Essentially, it just makes everything taste better, and I highly recommend it with any recipe that you're trying to layer the flavors. Now we're going to add in our meatless crumbles. I also added the Worcestershire here, which is supposed to be in the next part, but we're just rolling with life today. Stir this together to get the aromatics mixed in and not sitting at the bottom of your pan, and then add your tomatoes, sauce, and water. I like to add the water to the sauce jar to get all of it out really easily. You'll want to stir this together, and at this point, any large chunks from your crumble should easily break down. Now you're going to want to break your lasagna noodles into 2-inch pieces. I like to do this with a ruler to make sure that it's absolutely perfect. Bonus points if you use a pink ruler because that's just best. Watch this simple demo where I show you exactly what I mean. I'm just kidding. Don't do this. Do not take me seriously. You just don't want any super big pieces of lasagna. You want bite-sized pieces, especially if you have kids, so you don't have to cut anything up, but you do not need a roller. Okay, back to being serious. You are going to want to break your lasagna noodles into pieces, but just like trying to do it with a knife, smaller pieces will break off here and there. Don't worry about this. Again, just no super big pieces. You're going to push all your noodles under the sauce to the point you can almost not even tell they're there, and then cover with a lid, or in my case, a pizza stone. You're going to check this every 8 to 10 minutes, stirring and pushing the noodles back down for about 30 to 40 minutes, or until your noodles are softened and cooked all the way through. At any point it seems like you don't have enough sauce, you can add more, but also check to make sure your heat isn't too high. Once you reach that stage, you can add in your spinach and the shredded vegan cheeses. I'm doing a mix of cheddar, mozzarella, and Parmesan because our family likes a blend, but feel free to use your favorites. I'm just stirring this all together, and roughly by the time your cheese is all melty, your spinach should also be wilted. This isn't lasagna without ricotta, and that goes on at the end in dollops across the top of your skillet. All right, let's give this one a try. Try to get some of that ricotta in there. All right, let's give this one a try. Try to get some of that ricotta in there. I cannot get over having like all the amazing lasagna flavors without having to do all of that extra work. Literally one skillet, everything goes into it. You literally just have to wait for your lasagna noodles to cook, and you just have this amazingness, and you have to try it. And there you have it, 2 incredible one-pot vegan pasta dishes that are truly incredible for the whole family while still getting some of that green in there in both of these recipes. Let me know in the comments which one you are going to try to make first. Full recipe and ingredients are at our website, makeitdairyfree.com, which I will also link down in the the description box below. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next Saturday. Have a great week. Bye.